Today we're going to be repairing the latches on a Nintendo Switch and making some repairs inside this little Windows 10 laptop. And we're going to be having a conversation about truth and lies while doing this, but before we get into these repairs, let me share really quickly with you Psalm 40 verse 4 where it says, "Blessed is that man who makes the Lord his trust and does not respect the proud nor turn aside to lies." So first we're going to be working on this Nintendo Switch. It's got a latch that's busted. It doesn't really stay together really well. I've tried a couple of times to 3D print some latches for it. The ones that are made by Nintendo, they're made out of a plastic that doesn't hold up that well to a little bit of damage. And we need to have something which is a little bit better. So we look at the question of what is a lie? And oddly enough, that's actually a question that a lot of people have. A lot of people are unsure who to trust, and we're not even sure what a lie is anymore. We wonder, is it a lie to tell someone they look good in an outfit when they don't? Is it truthful to say that good intentions are the same thing as bearing good fruit? And one of the reasons why this has become such a big issue is we don't actually have an understanding of what is truth. I've always been fascinated with how Pilate asked Jesus, "What is truth?" before sending the Christ to the cross. And one of the things which is fascinating about that is the Roman world would not have viewed truth at all the same way as the Jewish world. And even the Jewish leaders, they didn't really understand truth correctly as Jesus was trying to pull them back to God. Division is at its worst. When one person wants their words interpreted coldly, as the little definitions in the dictionary might say, that their words might be perceived to be completely innocent. But then when they look at others, they want to put extreme scrutiny on their words so that they can be twisted and contorted to have the worst possible meaning. So when it comes to this bracket, we're going to be putting in some rubber latches. I'm hoping that the rubber will have a little bit of cushion where it won't break. So I've 3D printed these on my snap maker, and it really is a great 3D printer even though it's not very big. It really makes some high quality items. And in case anyone's wondering, I had to use the razor blade to cut away the excess. I'm sure many of you are already tinkering with little projects like these, but I want to encourage everyone to have some adventurous ambition, to get out there and do a little bit of repair and fabrication. You know, it's something which is so beautiful to have achievement in life. Just as God is holy and excellent, we too should reflect His ambition in creating creation. And when it comes to stuff like this, you don't have to have a formal education or anything like that. You just gotta have a little bit of a willingness to get your hands dirty. Let's see if we can push the latch and have it work. Looks like that is the case. All right, so the rubber latch, it worked, it fit in there, but I'm not totally happy with it. So we're gonna go back to the drawing board and modify that design a little bit. So I've got some new latches being printed off. They'll be done here in a moment and we'll try those out. But for now, let's swap over and work on that computer. So obviously I'm the sort of guy who likes little gadgets. This is the One Netbook One Mix 2S Yoga. The name of this laptop can just get totally confusing really, really quick. This computer has 8 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes on a solid state drive, so it is a full little laptop running Windows 10. We live in an age where the tools of language that add color, like sarcasm, satire, and even superlatives, these things are treated as if they're being used literally. You know, that creates this crazy, impossible standard of legal speak, and it just further drives our society towards chaos. So this has a couple of problems. We're only going to fix one of them today. It has a bad battery, which I've got one coming in the mail. But the problem we're going to fix today is that there is an audio cable broke off in the headphone jack. As you can see, there is a full, legit computer inside here. And I was hoping that with the case off, there would be good access to this headphone jack. However, there's not, so I'm going to have to come up with a strategy to get this broke audio cable out. I do have a strategy for this. I've got the audio cable that broke, and I'm going to try to put a touch of super glue inside here, push it back in there, let it glue, and then pull it back out. The reason why we're not really sure what a lie is anymore is because we're not sure what truth is. Truth, it is reliable. In order for something to be true, it must be reliable. Just as God's physical laws bind creation together, so do His moral laws. They are reliable and they will hold all things together. A lot of people, when they look at the Holy Scriptures, their issue with God's moral code isn't that it's not reliable in moving a society towards peace and prosperity. A lot of times they get frustrated with what happens with people who go outside of that, who don't actually want to live by God's moral code. We have this desire in our hearts to be living out our truth rather than looking up towards the truth. Let's let that glue dry and see if our latches have finished printing. Okay, so here we come with a different type of material. The scripture gives us wisdom in dealing with both truth and lies. You have to start with belief in an absolute God if you want to have any understanding of objective truth. I think in the long run a material like T-glaze would be the best thing for this, but T-glaze doesn't make small parts particularly well, so we're going to try this PLA for now. Okay, let's see how it fits, shall we? Ooh, nice. It's important to show that bad ideas don't really work, and if we're interested in truth, then we need to change course. All right, let's go over and work on our laptop again. All right, so the glue didn't exactly work like I wanted to. It never did really make contact, so I'm going to try to knock that piece out using some other tools. Regarding the computer, the super glue, this thing is stuck in there so hard the super glue wouldn't get it. So I've decided to run this screwdriver back behind there and try to tap it out. Oh, well, that actually went a lot freer than I thought it was. There it came. There are going to be a lot of people who are uninterested in truth, but there is great joy that we can have when we walk in the truth. Now, truth is not something which we get to decide for ourselves, but it is something which we discover as we walk in faith with God. It looks like when I was tapping it out there, it bent some of these little prongs here, but that is fixable. As long as the solders are in good tact, we can shape those back correctly. It's going in there. All right, it's all zipped up back together. We fixed a little computer and a Nintendo Switch, and I appreciate you spending time with me. Again, I'm Pastor J. Dylan Proctor, and check out some of the other stuff that I have out there. I do some live streaming of games and preach a little bit to them, and that's the Nazarene Stream Preacher. We have our full podcast we put out, which is called Kingdom of the Logos, and I'm doing a whole Bronco Bible study and all that stuff too. So if you have anything you want to talk to me about, please reach out to me. You can do that at jeffdylanproctor@gmail.com. And on that note, God love you, and have a blessed day.